Hi everyone. Today we have something pretty cool to look at. What you're seeing is an LG LDE 3035 ST. What that means is that it's an LG double electric range. The 3035 is the actual model itself, and the ST at the end just means that it's the stainless steel version. They do make the same model, the 3035, in stainless steel, black, and white. In its product family, there's also a higher model, a 3037, which they also make in stainless, black, and white. And there's a lower model, a 3031, which it seems only comes in stainless. What we're going to do next is get a close-up view of the oven. And do a little comparison between the 35 and the 37. I'm not too familiar with the features on the 31, but I did compare the 35 with the 37 when I was shopping, so I know a little bit more of what that one has and this one doesn't. Okay, so this is a little closer view of the control panel. You can see it has a digital clock there. It does have pretty much two complete sets of controls, one for the upper oven right along the top and one for the lower oven. Upper off, lower off, a general start button, 1 through 0, which is pretty nice. It does let you enter temperatures, times, everything using the digits instead of like an up and a down arrow, which my previous oven only had the up and the down arrow, so it could take some time if you had to scroll up to say 500 degrees. That was kind of a pain. It's nice to have those numbers there. You see some of the features listed here. It has an easy clean feature, a normal self-clean cycle, just a kitchen timer, a clock, settings for the oven overall, again lower self-clean, another timer. Start time actually allows you to plan a meal ahead of time. You can punch in when you'd like the oven to actually turn on, and then cook time is kind of the opposite. It allows you to tell the oven how long you want it to run before automatically turning off. If we come over to the left side of the control panel, these are your burner controls. In the back it has two small burners. In the front it has a single large burner. This third burner on the back is actually just a warming burner, so you aren't supposed to cook on it. You're just supposed to cook your food on a different burner and set it on the warmer to keep it warm while you finish the meal. This one in the front is pretty special. We'll go over that in depth a little bit more, but it actually allows you to select whether you want a large burner or just a small burner as that second one in the front. That's pretty convenient. That is one of the differences between the 35 and the 37, is this model only has a single selectable burner. On the 37 you do get a second one of those here, which is really nice. I do wish that they had that on the 35. But that's one of the things you sacrifice for the price. If we come down and just take a quick look at the cooktop, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it just due to the lighting. But that's that special burner. You can see the inner circle and then the outer circle. If you just do the small burner, only this inside element heats, and if you choose a larger one, it extends it out to here. We can come back a little bit further and see that large burner. And then in the back, it does, like I said, have two small burners and the warming burner. But the light is being difficult. Let me see if I can shine some more on this. Okay, much better. So, as you can see, there's one small burner, the warming burner, another small burner, the special burner, and the large burner. If we back up, we will pop open the ovens. This is a double oven. So first we will take a look at the upper oven. It's fairly small. The oven does have a special pizza feature if you're a fan of frozen pizza. And this is the oven that you're supposed to cook it in. It tends to work fairly well for things like pizza, thinner foods, because those burners are very close together. As you can see, that's the top element, that's the bottom element. So you're getting a lot of heat right on your food. If you did want to try and sear anything or get like a broil going, you'd want to do it in the upper oven. So that's your smaller upper oven. And this is the larger bottom oven. This is much closer to a normal capacity oven. You do still sacrifice some of the height in there because you have that upper oven, but it's pretty close to the same size as my last one. My last oven had a drawer at the bottom. It was only a single electric oven. So even though you don't have two ovens most of the time, you do lose some space because most of them include a drawer or something that takes up the bottom, probably about the bottom third. So this is a more economical way to do it, I would think. We have plenty of cabinet space over there to actually put pans and things like that, so we don't need the shelf at the bottom of the oven. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer in on this control panel. And I'll shine some more light on that so you can see what the actual features are. Okay. So like I said, you get the easy clean for both. You get self clean for both. The kitchen timer, clock, start, and both of the timers. As far as ovens, cooking types, each of the upper and lower oven both have bake, broil, warm. The upper oven has pizza, and the lower oven has proof, which you'd use for keeping bread dough and things like that warm while the yeast begins to rise. It does have individual controls for the lights in each one. And one of the features that I specifically bought this oven for, if you can see, it says lockout there. If we step back and we actually hold this start button for 3 seconds, and 3 seconds is longer than you might think, you can see lock popped up on both the upper and lower. And if we back up, what it's doing is going through the process of actually locking both of these doors. See, I can't open them anymore. And that's really important to me. I do actually have two small children, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. My last oven, it worked perfectly fine, but my 3-year-old actually decided to climb on the door one day. And you should know, for about 2 years we actually had a lock on the door, but the adhesive eventually gave way. It just couldn't stand up to the heat, I guess. And that's after a year or a year and a half, so it went a fairly long time holding that door closed. But unfortunately it did finally give way. She was expecting it to be locked, so it's not entirely her fault, but she climbed on that door and it opened, and luckily the oven wasn't on, but when she did, the thermal glass on the front, this has it too, shattered into a million pieces. So we could no longer use the oven. The stovetop still functioned fine. It was just a very basic model. Like I said, it was a single oven. It had the metal coils. and I had no problems with it. It just broke. It was broken, so that's why we replaced it. What we can do next is take a look at the actual burners. I'll show you one of these small burners in the back actually starting up. So what you do is you come up here, and I'm just going to press on, but I want you to actually watch the burner itself, because one thing I really like about this oven is the surface heats up incredibly fast. So I'm going to press on, but I'm going to point you at the burner itself. And I actually do have to take it off lockout. Lockout does lock down most of the control panel functions as well. So we'll just wait for those little lock icons to stop blinking. And as it's going through this process, you can kind of hear like a ticking in the background. It did say that's normal, but nothing to be concerned about. So again, I'm going to hit the on button for this burner. I'm going to point you at the burner. Now it's telling me to select the temperature, so I'm going to go high. And we will just watch it, and you can see, I mean, instant heat. Like I said, oof, yeah, it's already almost uncomfortable to put your hand 6 inches over it. So I mean, it heats up, no problem. And you can see it just turned off. The surface will stay warm for a little while. But coming from those metal coils, that is a vast improvement in heating up. So what we'll take a look at now is that special burner up front. Again, I apologize, it seems kind of difficult to see this. Hopefully it comes out better in the video than it does on my camera screen, but we will first turn on this front burner. We'll select high. And you can see it heats up that inner element. But if you have a large pan or like a big pot of water that you want to boil, you can then hit select, and it'll add in that outer ring. And that to me is super impressive. I think that was well thought out, well engineered. If you want to go back down to 1, it's another quick press of a button to shut it off. It's just one more quick press of the button. So now we'll take a quick look at the actual controls for that. What you can see right now, on that burner it says HS. That means that that burner is still a hot surface. So it does give you that warning. It's not going to do much to stop your kids from touching it, but you know not to set things down on the oven or anything like that. So let's say we did want to use that special burner again. So we hit on, and it'll start to blink, and you can either choose low or high to start with. So we'll go high. And again, almost instantaneous heat. And that one gets very hot up front. And then the secondary control is right next to it. It's just a select button, and you press it. We'll come back. And there you go. The whole burner is on. So let's shut it off now. You do only have to do one press if you want to shut it off. It'll shut off both. And it'll give us that HS again because it is still hot. But that's the gist of it. That's most of the features we covered. Everything that's listed on the control panel. It does have some more advanced features like Easy Clean. I think I'm going to do a separate video on that. Let's see. Like I said, there is a higher model which includes 2 of those special burners, which would be very nice. It's not a convection model. If you take a look in the bottom oven, you can see where the fan would be. They do make this exact oven with convection, so if that's something you need, you can go ahead and get that. It's only in the bottom oven. There's no support for a fan in the top oven. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to specifically see a video on, like any of the special modes like pizza or the proofing mode, I am going to do one on the easy clean, but if you want to see like a full self clean cycle, I can try and tape that. Just let me know. Leave a comment, post some questions, and thanks for watching.